very good morning to all of you. Myself is Dr. Rakhi Mishra from NIET Pharmacy Institute, that is affiliated with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University. And today I am here to give you a lecture on the topic that is phenol, right. The topic is phenol, and that is a part of unit 2nd from the subject pharmaceutical organic chemistry, that is BOP 301T. So, in this lecture I will give you a brief idea of what is phenol, how that phenol differs from alcohol, what is the basic reactions which defines the phenol, and what are the different types of synthetic methods for phenols, and what is the nomenclature of phenol, means how can you identify that whether it is monohydric, whether this is dihydric, or whether this is polyhydric alcohol. So, all these detail I will discuss in this lecture, right. So, before starting with the lecture, we must have an idea of what is phenol. It's a very good idea कि we have to give an idea about phenols. So, if we talk about phenols, then we can classify that phenols are any organic compound, right. It is an organic compound, you can say. See, this is an aromatic compound. See, this is benzene, this is an aromatic compound to which is attached OH group, because we all know that alcohol is a compound which is having an OH group. So, when to an aromatic ring, you can say for example benzene, if OH is attached directly, you are seeing that aromatic carbon, this is, what is this? This is aromatic carbon, right. To this aromatic carbon, if O is attached directly, then it is phenol. So, what are phenols? They are a class of chemical compounds which consist of one or more hydroxyl groups. One or more hydroxyl group means here we are seeing that only one OH group is there. Suppose if in this type of alcohol we attach one OH group here and another OH is here, then we will also call it as phenol also, right. So, we can say that in which one or more hydroxyl groups are bonded directly. Directly word meaning कि this carbon, this aromatic carbon is directly bonded to oxygen of hydroxyl group, bonded directly to an aromatic hydrocarbon group. So, these are called phenols. The structure of phenol is like this. This is aromatic carbon containing benzene ring, and to which is attached the OH group directly, right. Suppose if we want to have the, for example, I am giving you very short idea of nomenclature of which will be discussed later in this lecture, right. If you want to give name of this, then how can you name? You know that alcohols, right. What are alcohols? Primary alcohols are ROH, where what is R? R is any aliphatic, aromatic, any type of compounds. You always add suffix. What type of suffix you add? All, OL, all. This all is taken from phenol. That's why, and you have to add this all as suffix. So, this all, by adding this all, you can say that it is, what is it? It is benzene, because it is containing benzene ring, benzenol. So, this is the IUPAC nomenclature of phenol. What the IUPAC nomenclature of phenol says? That IUPAC name of phenol is benzenol, right. But what happens is, this phenol is also accepted by IUPAC name. IUPAC nomenclature also accept this name, means benzenol is IUPAC name of this phenol, but phenol is a name which is accepted by the IUPAC. So, you can call this ring as benzenol as well as phenol, right. Okay, I will tell you more details. Okay. See, I will give you all another examples. For example, if you have to carry out the nomenclature of this, for example, this is what CH3 CH2 OH, this is aliphatic alcohol. Now in aliphatic alcohol, suppose this CH3 and this CH2 group is what? This is ethyl. So, you can call it as ethanol, OH for all, right. This is the aliphatic IUPAC nomenclature of this compound. This is ethanol, and if it is like this, you will call it, I have told you earlier, you will call it benzenol. And I have told you that for benzenol, the accepted IUPAC name is also phenol. So, by definition, phenol is hydroxybenzene. See, if you want to, I will discuss it later in the nomenclature. If you want to discuss this nomenclature, then it is also phenol is hydroxybenzene, and its IUPAC name would be benzenol, which is derived in the same manner as IUPAC names for other aliphatic alcohol. What are the other aliphatic alcohols? You have heard the name ethanol, methanol, all these alcohols can be named by adding suffix -ol. Clear? Okay, right. So, by this slide, I think you all have an idea about what is phenols. Phenols are the aromatic carbon containing compound which is attached with benzene, and the carbon of benzene is directly attached with the OH group and oxygen of OH group. Now, this is a very important thing, that is a difference between alcohol and phenol, right. You have heard ki alcohol is there, methanol is there, ethanol is there, phenol is there. So, now the question raises is there any difference between alcohols and phenols? Are there any differences between these alcohols and phenols? Yes, there are a lots of difference if we check between alcohol as well as between the phenols. So, the first difference says that alcohols are mostly colorless, but they usually exist in the liquid state. You have seen in your lab, in your common life, that methanol, ethanol is always stored in the bottle, and that bottle, when it is stored in the bottle in the liquid form, that means alcohol in the room temperature or normal condition exists in the liquid state. But when we talk about the phenols are colorless solids because they are obtained as an solid, and at normal standard temperature and pressure condition they exist as an solid. So, this is a very major difference, that phenols, or you can say that alcohols are obtained as a liquid and phenols are obtained as a solid, right. Next, that is a very important difference between alcohols and phenols. When alcohols are treated, or you can say when alcohol is placed on litmus paper, blue color litmus paper does not changes to red, but phenol can change litmus paper red. Why? Because phenols are believed to be acidic in nature. That is a very good difference. You must remember, you must keep in your mind कि phenols are acidic in nature and alcohols are not showing any acidic character, means by what they can show the acidic character, they are not changing the blue litmus red. Now, the question is, what do you mean by blue litmus? What is red litmus? See, if blue litmus changes to red litmus paper, this is a filter paper type which is blue in color, and if you pour phenol over it, then it changes to red. You can say that it is acidic in nature, right. Now, if red changes to blue, you can say it is basic in character. So see, the very thing, the very you can say the very important difference is when phenol is kept on, phenol is poured on blue litmus paper, it changes to red. That shows it is acidic in nature. While alcohol is treated with this blue litmus paper, it do not changes to red, showing that it is not acidic in nature, right. I will tell you how it is acidic. Wait, I will tell you how it is acidic in nature, because this is very important part and in detail I will discuss in another lecture, but you must have an idea. See, if we want to draw the structure of phenol, then the structure of phenol is like this. OH, lone pair of electrons are there. See, this is the phenol structure. In phenol structure, what is it? One benzene ring which is attached directly to the OH group, and in the OH group, two lone pair of electrons are there, right. Okay, I will erase. Right, this is phenol. Now we are saying that it is acidic in nature. Now you must have a question in your mind that what is acidic? Acidic are those, suppose you say HCl, HCl dissociates into H plus plus Cl minus, that means you are saying hydrochloric acid is an acid. That means an acid is a substance which donates the proton, right. If it is donating the proton, then it is called as acidic. And now if this you can say this phenol donates the hydrogen, then it is converted into which type? This is phenol O. Only remaining things is these lone pair of electron, and this lone pair of electron when goes to this carbon oxygen bond, they changes into, see here, they changes into double bond O, positive charge, and here lone pair. So this partial double bond character, of oxygen causes the acidity that should be present in phenol. Getting my points? Ki alcohols are not acidic because they are not having lone pair of electrons where the lone pair of electrons should move, but in phenols a lone pair of electrons can take part in the delocalization of electron, and these delocalization of electron takes part in the benzene ring, right. I will tell you in detail in another lecture, that is the acidity of phenol, right. Now this must be clear to your mind that alcohol shows no impact or reaction during test as they are mostly neutral, while phenols can change litmus paper red as they are acidic in nature. Next very interesting point is, alcohol is non-cyclic, phenol is cyclic. You have seen that the structure of phenol is this. This is phenol, right. This is what? This is phenol. So you are seeing that it is cyclic in nature. While if we talk about alcohol, for example, this is methanol. Methanol is cyclic? No, methanol is non-cyclic. So these are the major differences which are there. The first difference is that it is colorless and normal temperature and condition. It exists in the liquid state, while phenols exist in the solid state. When treated with litmus paper, alcohols do not turn red, blue litmus red because they are mostly neutral, while phenols can change litmus paper to red as they are acidic in nature. Alcohols are non-cyclic while phenols are cyclic, as you are seeing in this, right. Now few more differences are there. Next difference is about alcohol. Alcohol gives a very pleasant odor, right? The smell of alcohol is pleasant. I think you have seen that alcohol like methanol, ethanol that you have came across in your routine life, that is having a pleasant odor. But when we talk about the odor of phenol, it gives an aromatic odor, and that aromatic odor is somewhat pungent in nature, means the smell of phenol is not very good. You don't feel very comfortable when continuously you got smell of, you get a odor of phenols, right? The main next difference is alcohols are soluble in water, right? Alcohols are soluble in water, while phenols are not soluble in water. You can say very sparingly soluble in water. When small quantities of phenols are added to water, they are soluble, but alcohols are not soluble, see, right? So, these are the differences, that alcohols are colorless, phenols are exist in solid state, alcohol show no impact on when treated with you can say blue litmus red, phenols turn blue litmus red, alcohol is non-cyclic, phenol is cyclic, you can say alcohol gives very pleasant odor, phenol gives aromatic odor, right? That is sparingly soluble, phenol is sparingly soluble and alcohol is soluble, right. Next, the very important part is preparation of phenols. How can we prepare phenol in our lab or commercially? These methods, I have given few methods which shows that how industries are synthesizing phenols or how you can synthesize phenol in your laboratory. This is the laboratory method, right? What is this? This is the laboratory method for synthesis of phenol. How can you see? In almost all the synthesis, one point should be in your mind. That one point what says, you can see every reaction of synthesis of phenols is starting from benzene derivatives, right? Getting my point? Ki synthesis starts from benzene derivatives. That supports a point that phenol is having a benzene ring in its structure. Yes, benzene is there in the structure of phenol. That is the point. See, the laboratory synthesis says when sodium benzene sulfonate. What is this? This is, you can see, sodium benzene sulfonate. When sodium benzene sulfonate, when fused with strong alkali, that strong alkali is NaOH. You know that sodium hydroxide is a very strong alkali. At 300 degrees Celsius, an intermediate is formed. And what is the name of this intermediate? Sodium phenoxide, right? This sodium phenoxide is an intermediate formed which when on acidic treatment, which when treated with HCl gives the phenol, right? This is the first you can say laboratory synthesis. Next method is very important. I will show you this method. See, next method is dose method. That is a very important method because it is used commercially. Industries are adopting this method to synthesize phenol. What the method says, that when chlorobenzene, in spite of this sodium benzene sulfonate, what they have taken? Chlorobenzene. When chlorobenzene is treated with 10% NaOH, the conditions are different here. The conditions are temperature is 360 degree and it takes place at very under high pressure. This is very important part of this reaction. Under very high pressure, when they are treated with NaOH at 360 degrees Celsius, they form sodium phenoxide, which on treating with HCl gives phenol. See, they are treated with 10% NaOH at 360 degree and they are giving sodium phenoxide, and again sodium phenoxide when on treatment with HCl gives phenol, right. So, these are the two methods. Another method, acidic oxidation of cumene. What is cumene? Cumene is this, right. What is cumene? This is cumene, right. When cumene is treated with oxygen, and that oxygen is present in our air under atmospheric oxygen. In the presence of some catalyst, then cumene hydrogen peroxide is formed as an intermediate. See in the previous slide what is forming? Sodium phenoxide, right? यहाँ पे क्या बन रहा है? Sodium phenoxide, and in this the intermediate is cumene hydroperoxide, which is then converted into phenol through acid catalyzed rearrangement, and finally it is giving phenol. What is it? Hydrogen peroxide, this one. See here, C is directly attached to hydrogen, but in this intermediate we are starting with this reaction, but O2, when it is treated with O2, this O2 is going by the mechanism which is called free radical. Free radical mechanism. What happens ki in between carbon and hydrogen, two oxygen atoms got, or two oxygen free radicals got incorporated, changing it into, that is called cumene hydrogen peroxide, right? This is the intermediate which is finally giving two products. This point is very important. One product is phenol and another one is acetone. So these are the two products which we get from these reaction, acidic oxidation of cumene, right? Next point, reactions of phenol. This is also very important part of this phenols. Phenols are very reactive. They are reactive towards electrophilic aromatic substitution. Now the question is, what is electrophilic aromatic substitution? The electrophilic aromatic substitution are those in which an electrophile, right? What? An electrophile. Electrophile means electron loving, means the one thing which loves to get electron, it is an electrophile, in which electrophile gets substituted by replacing one of the hydrogen of benzene ring, right? Means OH remains there, but electrophile, that is an electron loving group, comes and attached to the by replacing one of the hydrogen of benzene. See here, this hydrogen is replaced, in this hydrogen is replaced. Now the question is, what is this position and what is this position? This is OH. With respect to this OH, this is ortho group, this is meta group, this is para group. Getting my point? This is ortho, this is meta, and this is para group. See, this is ortho, meta and para. That means electrophiles are coming and attaching themselves either to ortho position or to para position, but are not getting attached to meta position. Now the question must be, what do you mean by meta position while they are not attaching themselves to meta? Because OH group that is present in the phenol, it is very activating ortho para directing groups. Phenols are very reactive towards electrophilic aromatic substitution, and OH group is strongly activating towards the ortho as well as towards the para directing group. See in next slide, I will show you, right? Now I will show you how ortho-para electrophilic substitution takes place in phenols. Okay, wait. See, we are starting with this OH group, right? This is the structure of phenol, right? Suppose these lone pair of electron make double bond here, and these bond electrons shift themselves to this position. Then what is the result? See, double bond O plus H, here it comes electrons, this position remains same. This is first resonating structure. In the second resonating structure, you can see how it is going to attract the electrophiles towards the ortho and para only. This must be clear to you. In this electron, this bond electron shifts here and this shifts here. So what happens? This is here and now the electrons are here, right? Again, I am drawing here and this bond remains as such, right? Now this bond remains as such, this moves here and this bond electron moves to this position. What happens? This becomes electron rich position and here the double bond OH remains as such. Now in another resonating structure, what happens is, this moves here and this moves here, means OH is obtained as such, right? The only change, see, this is first resonating structure, second, third, and this is again phenol. You can see very cleverly that it starts from phenol, phenol has changed to this first resonating structure, then to second, then to third, and finally it is giving phenol. But now what point you should keep in your mind? Electron rich position is ortho, here electron rich position is para, here electron rich position is ortho. That is the point you have to keep in your mind, कि while resonating its structure, phenol position which got rich in electrons are ortho and para only. That's why we are seeing कि all the electrophiles, electron loving agent when it got electron rich position at ortho and para, it got you can say bind to these position only. That is the point which I want to make you clear. Clear? Okay. Now you can see the examples of electrophilic aromatic substitution. The first example is nitration. It is very simple reaction. This is phenol, when treated with HNO3, that is nitric acid, NO2. What is this NO2? This NO2 is nitronium ion, right? This nitronium ion from HNO3 got placed at ortho as well as at para position. So you have seen that only the ortho and para position are getting electron rich. That's why this NO2 is electrophile. It is coming and attaching itself to ortho and para. See, this is nitric acid, HNO3. It dissociates into NO2 plus OH minus. This NO2 is nitronium ion. So you have seen that nitronium ion is positive in nature. That means it is an electrophile. So electrophile can go and bind to ortho and para position. Similarly in sulfonation, what happens when it is one more point during the nitration is, when it is treated with high concentration of HNO3, a product is formed which is called, see this, at ortho position NO2 got attached, at para NO2 got attached, and again at ortho it is going to attach. The name of this is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. That is a very important you can say compound which is synthesized by many of the pharma industry, and this compound can be used as an starting material, as an intermediate for many of the important reactions, right? In sulfonation you have seen that at para position sulfonyl moiety, wait I will tell you, H2SO4, right? This H2SO4 got dissociated into OH minus plus SO3H plus. So this is an electrophile. This electrophile goes and bind to the para position. Now the question is, why it is not going to bind with the ortho? Yes, it binds with the ortho position, but what the difference is, कि para position groups are obtained as major product, because if SO3H got bind with ortho position, then steric hindrance increases, because you are seeing that nearby two moieties, two very important or heavy functional groups are there, so they causes the steric hindrance. That's why it is obtained in less quantity when compared to para. Next is halogenation. Halogenation takes place in the presence of carbon disulfide. Orthobromophenol is formed, para-bromophenol is formed. As I have told you in the nitration, here also 2,4,6 trinitrophenol can be obtained. See this, 2,4,6 tri, it can go and bind to ortho, para, and also to this ortho. This is 2,4,6 tribromo, 2,4,6 tribromophenol. It can also be obtained by this reaction. Next is oxidation of phenols. When phenol is oxidized in presence of sodium chromate in the acidic condition, it goes oxidized because it is an alcohol. Alcohol changes first to aldehyde and then aldehyde changes to ketone. So, here we are getting this benzoquinone having 2 ketonic group. Next reaction is Kolbe-Smith reaction. This is very important reaction because in this we are getting salicylic acid. Salicylic acid. How we are getting this salicylic acid? When sodium phenoxide, first we have to change this sodium, you can say phenol into sodium salt of phenol. Then when it is treated with carbon dioxide, it is changing to sodium salicylate, which finally changes to salicylic acid. This is also a very important commercial method which is used by industries. This is Kolbe-Smith reaction. Next comes very important is nomenclature of phenol. I have told you in my first slide कि phenols are given their names by adding, see these are the points, by adding suffix -ol, right, and prefix में क्या रहेगा? In prefix the name of parent ring, right, and suppose if 2 or more than 2 hydroxyl groups are present, I am telling you, if 2 more than 2 hydroxyl groups are present, then what you have to add is hydroxy. You have to add hydroxy. See the examples. One is phenol, the other name is benzenol. I have told you in my first lecture. This is at the para, this is ortho, this is meta, this is para. In para position, para chlorophenol, or you can also start the numbering from the OH group position. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, what you can say is this is 4-chlorobenzenol, right, 4-chlorobenzenol. Another one is metanitrophenol. Another one is, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3,5-dinitrophenol, right. So, you can give the nomenclature. Some common names are also given. If CH3 is attached to the ortho position, then it is giving the name of cresol, or if it is in the meta position, it is giving the name of metacresol, or the IUPAC nomenclature 1, 2. 2-methyl-benzenol, or you can say 2-methyl, this is 3-methyl, 1, 2, 3, 3-methyl-benzenol, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 4-methyl-phenol, or you can say benzenol, right. These are the other common names structure you can see. And last topic is qualitative test of phenol. These tests are very important, as we have seen that when we are checking our sample with litmus test paper is turning blue litmus paper to red. This I have discussed earlier. When it is treated with sodium hydroxide and ferric chloride solution, a very dark colored solution, and basically it is of green color. Green color solution is obtained due to the formation of phenoxide radical, right. When it is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid and sodium nitrate, that the name of the test is Lieberman test. Yellow, actually this color is dark green, but when it is diluted, it changes to yellow color. And the last two tests are bromine water test. Initially the phenol is brown in nature, but when it is treated with phenol, bromine, white precipitate is obtained. When it is treated with phthalic anhydride, formation of phenolphthalein takes place. What? Formation of phenolphthalein takes place, and this phenolphthalein gives a pink color. So, this is all about the phenols. Phenol said that in phenols you can have the structure of phenols, the reactions of phenols, synthesis, we have discussed the IUPAC nomenclature of phenols, all those things we have discussed. So, this is all about this lecture. Thank you very much.